Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to finish our iris diamond. So we just left off at row 25 and row 26. We are going to be decreasing on both ends. So we're just going to chain one and turn, and you will do that from here on out until the diamond is done. Just chain one and turn. Then we're going to slip stitch in the first two stitches, and then in the third stitch we're going to start our square, which is that single crochet and two doubles. And then we're going to switch over to blue, and then we need to put 5 blue in. So since we're decreasing on both ends, we are going to be decreasing by 1. So row 25, we had 25 squares, and row 26, we're going to have 24 squares. And it'll decrease by 1 all the way back to the other corner, or to the last corner. So there's 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. Alright, then we need our purple, and bring it up, and we need 3 purple, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, and then we need that purplish pink that we've been using, and that is actually coming all the way up here. While we're carrying everything else with us. So we need this, we need 2 of these. Let me see if I could keep this from tangling. We are going to need our yellow next. I try to keep these in order, these strings. So you need 2 yellow. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need to go back to our purple. So we only need 1 of those. The yellow is going to stay there because we don't need that anymore. I think we just need the 1 purple, And this is the last purple for this row, so we're going to leave it behind too. Yes. And now we're going to bring up the lavender. Know why that? There. So we need the lavender next. All right. We need 3 lavender here. Find the stitch. There it is. So there's 1. 2. And 3. Then we need this purplish pink, and we only need 1 of them. One, two. Yeah, this is the... Yeah, that's right. All right, then we're going to go to blue. All right, and now we need 5 blue. So there's 1. So 5 blue and a green should finish off this row. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And then right here is the last stitch for our green. Because normally it would be here. It's down here now. And then we're going to slip stitch right here. And then there is, this is a corner made, and this is another corner made. So we have 2 corners now made. And now we're going to work up toward our last corner. All right, so let's mark that off. So row 26 is done. You should have 24 squares or blocks. So row 27 then, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in the third. And then we need to switch over to blue. And we have to put 4 blue in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Then we need our lavender first this time. So we're going to bring up this lavender and bring it over here. And we're going to need 3 lavender next. And because we're going to need this color here, we're going to bring it up with us because we're going to need it next. And then we're going to leave that lavender here. Because we're not going to need it anymore for the next row. We need 1 of these. And this is that purplish pink. And then we're going to need the purple. So we'll bring it up. And I'm going to bring this with us because we're going to need that again. So we need 2 purple. And then we're going to bring the yellow up. And we need 1 yellow. And then we're going back to the purple again. And we need 1 purple. Alright, and then we need that purplish pink. And wait a minute. That's the only place we need that yellow, so there's no use in bringing that with us. Let's put this purple back in. Then back to the purplish pink. And we just need 1. And then we're going to leave that behind. Go back to the purple. And now we need 3 purple. So there's 1. 2. And 3. And now we need to go to our blue. We need 1 blue. And And then back to our purple. And we need 2 purple. Oh yeah, it's the other side. Alright, and then back to our blue, and we're going to leave this purple behind. We need 2 blue and a green to finish off this row. And here's our green. Slip stitch here. Alright. So that is row 27. And that's what it looks like so far. Okay. Let's mark that off. And now we can use row 20. Oh, we're going to do row 28. Chain 1 and turn. Alright, we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in that 3rd stitch with our green. And then we're going to switch over to the blue. We need 1 blue. And then we're going to switch over to the purple. And now we need 3 purple. Alright, so there's 1. 2. And 3. Oh, come on. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And we need 1 blue. And then back to our purple. And now we need 4 purple. So there's 1. 2. 3. We're going to bring this purplish pink up because we're going to need it later. And there's 4 purple. And now we need our yellow. And this is the last time we're going to use this yellow. We need 2 yellow here. And then we need to go to our purple again. And we need 1 purple. One purplish pink. So to figure out where it is. Yeah, we're not going to need that purple anymore. So we'll leave it behind. Alright, so we have the purplish pink here. And then we need the lavender. So we're going to pull it up right here. And we need 2 lavender next. And a purplish pink. And another lavender. And now here we got the blue. Switching over to the blue. We need 3 blue and a green. That should finish off this row. Yep. Last stitch. Alright, so there is row 28 finished. And I am actually going to cut off this yellow because we are not going to need that yellow anymore. And pull that out of there. There we go. And mark off our row. Alright, chain 1 and turn. And now going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then we need our blue. So we need 3 of those, 3 blue. And then we need this purplish pink first this time. So we're going to bring this lavender up, and we're also going to, I need to bring that up because we're going to need it. Alright, so we need 2 of these purplish pink ones. And then we need a lavender. And then another purplish pink one. And so we're leaving the lavender behind and that purplish pink one. And now we just need the purple. That would help if I started that stitch first. Now we need to bring the purple. There we go. And now I just need 7 purple. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, and then we need a blue. And 1 blue, and now 3 purple. So there's 1. 2. 3. And then we need our blue. And it's 1 blue, 1 green, and that'll finish off this row. And that is row 29. All right. I'm checking out these other colors too. All right, so row 30. All right, in row 30 you should be down to 20 rows, or 20 squares, not rows, 20 squares. So we're going to chain 1 and turn and slip stitch in the first 2 and start our square in the third. And then we need to switch over to blue. No, purple. Okay, we're switching over to purple. Alright, we're going to bring this blue up though because we're going to need that blue. So I'm going to bring it up with us. So that we need 4 purple, it says. So 1.
Hey, Grandma.
I'm videotaping.
What are you making?
I'm making a diamond. 3. There's 3. And 4. Now I'm going to switch over to the blue. And now I need 3 blue.
Let's go ahead and go. And we'll just sit down.
Alright, so there's 1. 2. And 3. So let's switch over to the purple then. We need 1 purple. Alright, and now we need to bring our lavender down. So we need the lavender. So we need the 1 lavender right here. And then we're going back to the purple. And we need 2 purple. And then we need this purplish pink one. And we need 1 here. And then back to our purple. And we need 1 purple here. Well, I just lost that stitch. And that is the last that we're going to use the purple in this row. And I missed the lavender. I need that. Hang on a second. I need the lavender. There we go. Now we're done with that. Alright, so we need a lavender next. A purplish pink next. A lavender. Leaving that purplish pink behind. I need this lavender next right here. And then it is 2 blue and a green to finish off this row. Yes. And slip stitch here, and there we have it. So that is row 30 and 20 blocks. Let's try out this blue one. All right. So we're going to chain 1 and turn for 31, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then switching over to blue, we need 1 blue, and then we need our lavender. Our purples kind of got tangled together a little bit. Alright, and then we need the purplish pink. We need 1 of those. Then we're going back to the lavender. And we need 2 lavender. All right. They kind of got tangled up and are kind of hard to work with when they start tangling so much. All right. All right, then we need the purplish pink one. We're going to leave this lavender here because we don't need that lavender anymore. And then we're going to bring up this purple right here. And bring this purple with us. So we just need this one. And now we're going back to the purple. Switching over to purple. We need 1 purple. And then we're going to switch over to the purplish pink again. And we need 3 of them. And then let's leave that behind. We got to go back to, oh, we need blue now. So now we need 3 blue. And then the purple will be next. We're actually going to leave that blue behind because we only need 4 purple and a green, and that should finish off this row. There's the green. Slip stitch there. And that is row 31. Alright, well, let's mark it off. And get ready for 32. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to slip stitch the first 2 stitches and start our square in that third. And we're going to switch over to the purple. And then we are going to need 7 purple. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. We'll bring up this blue with us because we're going to need it later. 5. 6. 7. Now we are going to need this lavender first, I'm guessing. It says. And bringing up this color as well so that we have it for later. So 1 lavender, goodness. Back to the purple. We need 1 purple. And then back to this pinkish purple. And we need 2 of those. And then we're going to go back to the purple again. But we are done with that pinkish purple. We can leave it behind. So we need 1 purple. And then we're leaving it behind and going to our lavender. And we need 3 lavenders. So there's 2 and 3. And then we're going to finish this off with 1 blue and 1 green. to the blue. And the green. And that's row 32. So you see our flower is coming into shape. We're almost done with the purple. We only have a couple more rows of that, and we can cut it off. Yay, I love starting to cut off colors. Alright. Chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our green in the 3rd stitch. Our green square. And we need to switch over to blue. And we need 1 blue square. And then we're going to switch over to the lavender. And we need 3 lavender squares. And that actually takes care of the lavender in this row. So we can get rid of that. And now we need this purplish pink in here. And then we're going to bring the purple up with us too. So we need 5 of this color, the purplish pink. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alright, we'll leave that behind because we're not going to need that anymore. Bring the purple up. And we need 5 purples. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And then we're going to switch over to blue. And we just need 1 blue, 1 green to finish off this row. and slip stitch. And there's row 33 finished. Row 34, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we are going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. Switching over to blue. We need 1 blue square. And we're going to switch over to purple. And we need 4 purple squares. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need a blue, 1 blue next. Alright, and then we need a lavender. So we're going to bring this all the way down to here. We're needing 1 lavender here after this blue. And then we need, that's the end of that lavender. Then we need a purple. We need 3 purple. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then we need this purplish pink one. And we need 2 of those. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And 2 blue and a green should finish off this row. slip stitch. Now, before we go any further, we can cut off this purple, because we're not going to need that anymore. Now we're down to 4 colors. Alright. And then we're going to mark off row 34. And go to 35. So in row 35, we're going to be down to 15 squares. So let's slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then go over to our blue. We need 1 blue. And we're back over here with this lavender going this far over here again. And we need our lavender. Alright, so we need 1 lavender. Switching back to the blue. We're going to bring up this purplish pink one here, because we're going to need that later. We want 1 blue. Back to our lavender. We need 1 lavender. And then we need our purplish pink. Alright. And we need 1 of those, the purplish pink one. So back to our lavender again. Now we need 2 lavenders. And then we're back to that purplish pink, so we're going to leave that lavender behind. Where's this at? There it is. And then we just need 1 purplish pink right here. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And we need 5 blue and a green, and that should finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. and 5. And there's our green. Alright, there is 35, and that is 15 rows. I mean, not rows, 15 squares. Or blocks, or whatever you want to call them. Alright. Alright, 36. And we are going to need to untangle some stuff here. Hang on a minute. Oh, goodness. There. There it is. Alright. So 36. Now I got these untangled. Chain 1 and turn. Let's see if I can keep them untangled this time. Alright, let's see. Let's start slip stitching in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in the third. Go to our blue. Switch over to blue. We need 5 blue. So there's 2. 3. 4. 5. And now we need that lavender again. Right here it is. Alright, so there we go. We're also going to bring up the purplish pink one and bring it with us too. But we're putting this 1, 2 lavender in. So there's 1. And 2. Then I need this purplish pink one. I'm just going to put 1 in And then it stays behind. Wait a minute. We forgot our lavender. We're going to need it. Alright, now that stays behind because that's the only time we're using that in this row. So now we need 2 lavender. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need a blue. Bringing this lavender with me. I need 1 blue here. We need 1 blue, 1 lavender, and 1 green, and that'll finish off this row. And I just left that blue behind there. And now I'm going to leave the lavender behind and put this green in. Alright, and there is row 36. Okay, so let's do row 37. So let's chain 1 and turn. And let's slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then now we need to go to blue. This blue's got to come under here. Here we go. Bring the blue up. And at the same time, we're bringing this lavender up with us too. We're going to need this later. So we are needing 5 blue. So there's 1. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Oh man, that didn't look right. No wonder why that didn't look like. Alright, we're on 37 and I'm trying to do 36 again. So we're going to lavender next, not blue. So we need 1 lavender, 1 blue. There we go. And then we need this over here. This purplish pink. We just need 1 right here. And we're going to leave that behind right there. Oh, I hate it when it comes around those things. Turn that around. Alright. We need the lavender again. And I needed 2 of those purplish pinks. Oh no. I need to bring that with me. I'm sorry. This is what comes with not marking these off, because I keep trying to go to 36. So I might as well just mark it off and stop being lazy. Alright. Goodness gracious. So, 1 green, 1 lavender, 1 blue. Now we need 2 of these. This purplish pink one. Alright, then we're going back to the lavender. There we go. I'm going to need that purplish pink yet. So I need 2 lavenders. And then back to the purplish pink. And we're just going to put 1 in right here. And leave that there. And then we're going to put 4 blue and a green in, and that should finish off this row. So there's 2. 3. 4. And we have our green. And that is row 37. And let's mark it off. So row 38, chain 1 and turn, and we're slip stitching in the first 2 and starting our square in the 3rd. This is the last row for lavender. Alright. We are switching over to blue, and we need 4 blue, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 blue, and then we need to go over to this purplish pink one, and we need 2 of them. So there's 1, bringing up this lavender, so we can switch over to it. purplish pink behind, and put 3 lavender in. And then we're going to need to switch over to blue. And we need 1 blue and 1 green, and that should finish off this row. There we have it. So that is row 38. And let's find that lavender. What did I do with them scissors? Let's cut off the lavender, not the purplish pink. Almost cut off the wrong one. We're down to 3 colors, yay. Alright. Alright, chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do 39, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 and start our square in the third. And then go to blue. We need 1 blue. And then we need to bring this purplish pink over. And we need to put 4 in there. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Switching that over. Switching over to blue. We need 4 blue and a green, and that'll finish off this row. And this is 4. And slip stitch. So 39 is finished. Chain 1 and turn for row 40. So row 40 we are down to 10 squares. So we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 and start our square in the third. And then we're switching over to blue. Alright, and we are going to need to cut off another color as we're done with this one too. Now we just need to put 8 blue in and put a green at the end. And that'll be 10 squares. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 8. All right, over to green. Chain 1 and turn. All right, this is 41. We're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then we need to switch over to blue. So now we need 7 blue and a green at the end. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7. Switching over to green, and put a green one in this last stitch. And there is what it looks like thus far. This is our flower so far. All right, let me see. It's on this side. All right. Yeah, the rest of this, as you could see, is very easy. Alright, so we are just going to keep doing this. Row 42, it is 6 blue in between the 2 greens. So we're going to slip stitch into the first 2, just like we've been doing. And then we got our green, our first green square. And then we're going to switch over to blue and put 6 blue in. This is 6 right here. It's ending up with green again. Here we go. Chain 1 and turn, and then we're just going to slip stitch. And then that was row 42, so this is row 43, and we're going to put 5 blue between the 2 green. Chain 1 and turn for 44. There'll be 4 blue between the 2 greens. Okay, this is 4. And I'm switching over to green.
You're cooking. She's here.
Alright.
My niece is gonna pick him up here.
Alright, so then 45, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do 3 blue between the 2 greens. And that is 5. We'll be down to 5 blocks or squares.
The chair hasn't come yet. Whew. That's chilly out. That's rough that night. See what the temperature is in here. That's staying nice in here before I keep everything closed.
Alright, so there's 1. 2. And 3. Back to our green. And we'll slip stitch there. Alright, so chain 1 and turn for 46. We'll be down to 4 blocks and 46. And that is 2 blue between the 2 greens. All right.
Pumpkin's not gonna get it. Come on, no.
Chain 1 and turn for 47. And 47, it's green, blue, green. You're down to 3 squares. This is the last time we're using this blue. And slip stitch. So we can cut the blue off. And now we're going to, all my yarn split. Hang on a minute. There we go. Chain 1 and turn. And now we're just down to 1 color, which is really easy peasy. So we're going to, we slip stitch it in the first 2 stitches. And we need to put 2 green in here. Alright, chain 1 and turn. And we'll slip stitch up to our last stitch. And we're just going to put 1 green in there. And this will be done. Alright, there we have it. So let's see what it looks like now. Look at our diamond. Beautiful diamond. Okay. So here's our flower. Our iris. Perfect. And there we have it. So I am going to tie down all my ends, and then we'll be back to do the border. Okay, so we're going to put a border around this diamond. This is our iris diamond. I love the way this came out. You have to figure out which side that you want front and which side you want back. And once you figure that out, make sure the back side is facing you. Alright, here we go. So we're going to start up here. Now, with the diamond, the diamonds we've been making, these 2 sides here are the longest sides. These 2 sides down here are the shortest sides. Okay, so we're going to go down one of the long sides. And we're going to slip stitch in here. And we're going to chain 1. And then you're just going to put 2 half double crochets in there. And then we're just going to half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And then when you get to this section right here, we need to put 3 half double crochet in that one. In each one of those 3 stitches. And then you'll see you have 2 stitches next. So we're going to half double crochet in those 2. And then you'll have the 3 next. So it'll be, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3 all the way down. So you're going to go all the way down to the side like that. And now I'll meet you at the next corner. And I'll see you then. Alright, so this is all the way down to the corner here, and you should have like 59 to 60 stitches, somewhere from 58 to 60, whatever you come up with, and either one works. So when we get to the corner here, we are going to put 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets. Alright, so now we're going to go down the short side. And so we're going to do a short side here. So you should have about 48 to 50 stitches for the short side. So we're going to put a half double crochet. This is the stitch right here that we put all of them in. And then when we get to the double right here, we're going to put 2 half double crochet around that. And then there's a space right here, right after the doubles. You're going to put a half double crochet there. So then we got a half double crochet here. So it's like 2, 2, and 2. And then here's the space. And then put 1 here in this stitch. And then you need to put 2 around that double. And then there's a space. And so forth. You just go all the way down like that. Okay, and then, you know, make sure you do your corners, 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet, and we're gonna finish going all the way around the diamond that way, making sure that, you know, your long side and your short sides are about the same. Alright, so I will see you when we get all the way around the diamond. Okay, so row 1 is done of the border, and let's do row 2. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 2 half double crochets in this corner. And then in the front loop only, we're just going to half double crochet down the side in each one of these stitches. And I'm sewing my end in, so I'll have to worry about it later. So we're just going to half double crochet in the front loop only. That's what makes this little design right over here. And then we're going to do this in round 2 all the way around. You will still have 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet in your corners. So I'm going to finish this row, and I will see you at the end of row 2. Alright, so we are going to chain 1 and turn. So we're turning our work so that the front now is facing us. And in this corner, we're going to put 3 single crochets. So that's what we're going to be doing for every corner now. It's just putting 3 single crochets. Then in the back loop only down the sides, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch using the back loop only. And you just go all the way around it and finish it up. This is the last row. This will finish up our diamond. I'll show you. The border will look like this all the way around it. It's got that little design in it from the half double crochets. I hope you guys had a lot of fun making our spring diamonds and making this iris diamond with me. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.